So we've had a new member of the family kind of reemerge. So maybe not a new member, but an old member that we didn't want to have come around anymore, poking their head up a little too frequently these days. Hey everybody, it's Ed the Trainer. And I'll explain what in the world that means coming up next on this week's Tips on Tuesday. So it's returned. I'm not sure if it's a he or a she, but it's a commonality that in my opinion, we don't want to have around. And that's this new person in our house named Not Me. Some of you watching, you know exactly what I mean, right? Who left the lights on downstairs? Not me. Who didn't flush the toilet? Not me. Whose shoes are over there in the corner? Not mine. Not me. Not mine. And, you know, unfortunately, it's just this idea that nobody's willing to take credit. Nobody's willing to step up. Nobody's willing to take responsibility for the things around the house that need to get done. And unfortunately, not only has Not Me been hanging around my house recently, but at the same time that I've noticed it within my house, I've seen it out in general life as well. Just over the weekend, my son's football game, we saw a coaching staff for the opposing team shout out to the parents to say who's willing to volunteer to do the chain gang, to run the chains on the sideline, and everybody sat on their hands in the stands. Nobody stepped up to volunteer. A couple of days back, driving home from a practice on the side of the road, there was something going on and the cars were backed up and people were beeping their horns and screaming out the window. Maybe it was a little bit past rush hour, but there was a little bit of traffic backed up. And when I finally got up to see what was happening, there was a guy who was getting back into his car after fairly obviously moving what was a downed tree out of the road. And instead of other people stopping to help to get it out sooner, they just angrily drove by beeping their horns and shouting. You know, only one guy volunteered. Everybody else drove by essentially saying, not me, I'm not willing to do that. And see, here's the thing. Most of us every day, that's the way we live, right? I mean, certainly some people will step up and some people will be leaders and say, yeah, me, not me. They'll say, yeah, me, I'll volunteer. I'll be the first to go. And what I want to say this week is let's challenge ourselves, guys, to not sit on our hands. Let's challenge ourselves to be the first to step up, the first to volunteer, to help others. Let's be intentional about saying, yeah, me, I'll step up. I'll take the step. I'll do the extra work, make the extra effort to make life better for those around me too. Not just me, but for those around me too. Because I want to play an active role and make the world a better place. So that's my challenge this week to all of us, myself included, is let's not sit on our hands. Let's not say, not me. Let's try at least once this week, maybe once a day if you're feeling crazy. Let's try at least once this week, though, to step in and say, yeah, me, instead of not me. Thanks for spending a couple of minutes with me today, everybody. I really, really appreciate your time. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you soon.